What is up, guys? Welcome back to another video, and we are back for some more F1 23 Road to Glory series, and we are here for the Spanish Grand Prix for round number 8 of the Formula 1 World Championship for Alfa Romeo. If you're not checking out the last video, please go check that out. We raced around the Triple Crown of Monaco, and it was pretty eventful. Both cars suffered from well, one suffered from changing front wings 80 billion times, and then my car was officially broken after sort of the end of the race. We were running in a very good position to get points, and then we got absolutely albanoed by someone. So yeah, thank you, Alex, for that. But it's alright because we're here at Spain, which is probably another good track of mine. I've always been good around here. I never really had any problems with this track. Now with the new layout, it's so much fun to drive, but I'm pretty confident around Spain. We do have some upgrades coming out to the car as well, I believe, for this. I don't know if I think we do, though. I'm not 100% sure. But speaking of upgrades, we're going to do some upgrades. So we're doing some weight reduction, weight redistribution, all those other stuff. And that was really it. But yeah, really no upgrades coming out. I don't think we really got any upgrades coming out to the car this weekend. So yeah. So now we look at the performance index. A couple guys that have made some gains. I think McLaren had brought some upgrades as well to the car. Got a couple guys in the top front. Aston had brought some upgrades. We kind of stay the same. It is a triple header type of weekend, so there's really like no time to really bring in upgrades. But we had that big package come into Monaco, which was kind of good for us. But yeah, there's actually a couple things that we did well, and I'm very happy with that. So FP1, FP2 was done, and all that other fun gist. We got some discounts coming out. We have a lot of actually durability upgrades that are getting discounted, so hopefully I can get those to 0, and then we can put those on for basically when we get more. But I have done some ICE stuff, and I've done, I believe, the gearbox, but I would like to do another gearbox upgrade if possible, because, well, I kind of need it. So that'd be ideal. Also, durability is just straight up cracked, to be honest. Our durability is pretty crap. The Ferrari durability as well. I mean, reliability has been the problem for Ferrari in this game, so that's quite the unfortunate part. All the other cars really have decent reliability compared to us. We got probably the worst, but we're gonna change the engine. But spoiler alert, we did change the engine. Well, we exited the game because I had stuff to do, and I come back and the engine actually didn't get changed. So this is me. This is a moment before disaster, I guess you could say. So you see us changing the engine, and well, there's no point because it didn't even save. So quite unfortunate. Qualifying here for the Spanish Grand Prix. It's gonna be a bit of a difficult one, as I said earlier, because again we're down on power, and it's not really ideal to be down on power. So we're gonna be in a little bit of a pickle, as I could say, and we're gonna give it our all, though. We're not gonna, we're not gonna stop anything from happening. We're just gonna keep on going, act like just keep driving the session. So nothing much to say, but there's a couple things that we might do after the session. One, we could sacrifice the car, or two, we could just straight up just take a whole new engine and see what we can do, or we can just run the engine until it freaking dies. But I don't really want to risk that because the engine is really not, the ICE and everything else like that is really poor, so I prefer not to do that. But here we go for the first qualifying lap. As I said earlier, the car felt really good around here. Sector 1 was actually really strong for this car. Good rotation through those first two corners. The right here through this next corner was really well. To be fair, it is flat out, so there's really nothing you could really mess up there. Then approaching the next corner right here, actually felt really well. Ran out a little bit wide though, which is not really ideal, but we're gonna head down to the other braking zone. It's a little bit downhill, so it's a little bit tricky to get right. Very good rotation through there and get a good exit. And then right down here, car felt really strong through these next couple of corners right here. this fast left and right, and it felt good. Almost a little bit of a back end loss there, but thankfully we survived. Flat out, basically. Had to take a little bit of a lift there, and then power down, DRS wide open, and you head down to the next part, which is this corner, which is alright, but I don't really like this corner, to be honest. It's still crap, but to be fair, I prefer that over this little stupid crap chicane that they had. But screw the chicane here, we're going flat out. So rest of the lap, take a little bit of a lift off right here, not too much. You could probably go flat out if you wanted to, but across the line, see what this does, and it's actually going to put us P1. So what we go P1 on the 112.5. That was a very good lap. I'll take that, thank you very much. Decent lap. Now we have to. Now Lewis is. I believe that's one of the Mercedes boys that is coming out. So I got to be careful with how he's coming at our speed. So we're gonna let him go here. But that's actually not a bad lap. I actually thought we were gonna be like P3, P4, but no, that was actually P1 and almost two tenths. The 112.5. So we had a really strong lap in Sector 2. In Sector 3, we did really well. To be fair, the AI I feel like are pretty poor around Sector 3. Sector 2 though was very strong. Really strong in the Sector 1. Kind of lost a little bit of time though, but we're not far off from Sergio Perez, who set the fastest one. But to be fair, this car is really feels really good around here. So there's no need to go out for another lap because we're going to be safe, and we are safe in the Q2. Only Verstappen takes P1 at the end of the session though, which is not really, I could care less for because it's only qualifying one. But take a look at some guys that are out. Both AlphaTauris, both Williams, and well, Lance Stroll's out as well. So Lance has been pretty poor this season, and he's been pretty poor in real life, and he's pretty poor here around Spain. So that's a Q1 exit for Aston Martin, which I believe they brought some upgrades to the car. So Aston have a pretty good car too, but to be fair, they're just really not. Alonso's not really showing. Not Alonso. Stroll's not really showing the pace, I guess you could say. But now we take a look at basically what's going on here for the qualifying 2, and set a pretty good first sector, pretty good second sector. Now see where this puts us. That might put us actually P1 once again. That is P1 with 112.4. So we actually went a little bit faster. Track probably ramped up a little bit at the end of the session. And take a look. Yeah, look at that ICE, 62% wear. And everything else though was not bad, but it's just not ideal. So yeah, but Q2 is done, and that's actually going to put us P2. So very strong pace, and we could have a good shot at possibly getting pole position, but at the same time, I do need to decide if I want to sacrifice whatever position we are to put in a new engine so we don't blow up, which is quite unfortunate because, yeah, I don't want to take a grid penalty, but we are going to we're going to have to take grid penalties later on in the season, so it really doesn't matter. But look at that, first Leclerc almost went out there. Both McLarens are out too. I did see that. So we're going to approach the final lap now. They actually put us P1 again, and I'm honestly really surprised with that because I didn't know we were still going to be P1, but final lap now. And this could actually put us in provisional pole position if we hook up this lap correctly. So down to turn 1, went a little bit wide. We found almost a 10th there, but again, we made a mistake. We ran out wide, and that's probably going to be over because we have to find 3/10, and I don't even know if we can even find 3/10. We had a brand new set of soft tires on, and I don't know if we're going to be able to find this. We got much better turn in that corner, but we really can't find much time because we're still losing time at the exit, so not really ideal. We get good rotation through here, and we find a little bit of time, but then we lose time. So this lap is really not hooking up for us in this car. I don't know what's going on. The first sector kind of really ruined it, to be honest with you, but found a little bit of time there. Now we have to go flat out, and we're still losing time, so this is not really great for this lap, but we're just going to have to pray and hold on to see if we can beat anyone else. And to be fair, we got some pretty quick guys behind us. We got the Ferrari, we got the Mercedes, we got the Red Bull, and I don't know where Valtteri's going to be put, but I don't honestly expect him to be anywhere near us. So yeah, so 2/10 now we're gaining, or we're losing, and well, we're gonna have to try to see where this puts us here. We're gonna come across the checker flag now. Where does this put us here? Hopefully it's still P1. Can it be P1? Is it? No, it's not. So close, and that is P2. I'll take that though. I will take that. I'm just curious on how much he beat.
Let's review our top 3 today.
2/1000ths of a second Lewis beat us. Holy crap. Oh my god, are you serious? So Lewis found 2/1000ths of a second. Ugh, that That's that's heartbreaking. That is severely heartbreaking. Right. All right. So that. Thank you for that. Great car. That was a very good car to be honest with you, but fortunately just got caught out with that. Um, Valtteri got P9. So Valtteri really just does not have the quality pace, almost half a second off me. So well, now we have to make the tough decision. And honestly, after this, knowing that the pace is good, I might honestly just take a whole new engine because it just, yeah, it honestly taking a whole new engine might just be the best part because it's just, yeah, I mean, if we don't take one, then I don't know what to say, but we're gonna have some penalties coming our way, and I think we're gonna, I might just swap the whole engine. I was thinking about only switching 2 components, but it's gonna be a 10th place, so we're just gonna be at the back of the grid anyway, so it really doesn't matter. So yeah, it's just, yeah, just take a whole new engine, I guess you could say. And actually, spoiler alert, again, when we did take a whole new engine, we actually fucked up. I didn't mean to curse there, but we totally forgot to take a whole new, we forgot to take something, totally forgot to take a whole new, I don't know what we forgot to take, we were playing with it. I think we forgot to take a whole new MGU-H, which, because we actually changed it back, because we did take some engine components off, but we ran a pretty poor thing, but I kind of went back there. I was like, do we really take one? But I was just like, yeah, it was a tough decision, y'all. It really was a tough decision to take a whole new engine, but I guess these things happen, so I was really just hesitant about it, but we're going to take a whole new engine because there's really no point, so sacrifice the race and try to see what we can do, but I'm pretty confident in the race. We have some really good race pace. We showed it really off in quali, so I think we're going to have a good race. So we're going to sit back and relax, breathe a little minute, and then have some fun. So let's go have some fun in the race, shall we?
Welcome along, everyone, to sunny Spain, specifically to the Circuit de Barcelona Catalunya. So many great moments in Formula One history have been written at this very track over the years, including Michael Schumacher's first win for Ferrari back in '96. That win was in the rain. We might have better weather here today, but we're just as overjoyed to be at the Spanish Grand Prix. It's an updated track at Catalunya, and the popular opinion in the paddock is that we never wanted the chicane in the first place. That's now been gone, the final corner is much faster, and at 2.9 miles and 14 turns, we await the Spanish Grand Prix. Let's run you through the driver grid order for today's exciting. Lewis Hamilton lines up on pole position, and it's Charles Leclerc in P2. Considering the rest of the grid, we have Verstappen, Sainz, Perez, Fernando Alonso, Bottas, Gasly, Magnussen, Norris, Hulkenberg, Oscar Piastri, Ocon, Russell, Stroll, Albon, De Vries, Tsunoda, Sargent, and Cowboy. Now it's almost time for lights out, so let's go down to the track. And a warm welcome to Natalie Pinkham, who's beside me in the commentary box today. Why don't we kick off by discussing Max Verstappen? That was a great win in the last race, but can they keep that momentum going into this weekend?
It's always nice to come into a Grand Prix weekend on a high, but your expectations are based much more on your practice and qualifying runs. So it's the momentum from those sessions that they'll be hoping to carry into the race today.
And here we are on the grid for Spain. I got a pretty good, pretty tough race to be asked with you, starting from the back. And we'll see what we can do here. But a couple guys actually are a lot of different strategies going on around the grid. A couple guys going for the soft, a couple guys going for the mediums, and then they're gonna, or I think half of the, not half the grid, but I think some of the guys are doing the medium to the hard. I was thinking about going to the hard first, then the medium, but I might just go with the preferred strategy, and I feel like if we just start on one of the mediums, will be a lot better to get up to the grid. I don't really want to start in the hard, to be honest with you, because it's gonna be a pile of poo. So yeah, we're gonna do that, and everyone else behind us though is gonna be a bit tricky to pass because they're on sauce. But also another guy to explain the fact that George Russell is actually back here as well. So we got someone else that's gonna be trying to get up the grid. So yeah, but here we go for the 5 red lights around Spain. 5 lights, and we're now underway for the Spanish Grand Prix. And a couple guys actually did get a great start. That's actually the Ferrari that did get a great start. And we actually got a decent start. We're actually going to jump Sonona on the exit. And now it's just the drag race down to turn number 1. Everyone kind of jockeying for position here. See who can get the better run down the inside on Nick DeFries. DeFries blocks that pretty well, and he's going to keep that position. Try to run the outside of Yuki Tsunoda. Tsunoda's still going to fight that pretty hard. Tsunoda around the outside, and we're going to give him a little bit of a squeeze on the exit, not too much. And we're going to keep the position, but we have to go back around the outside of Alex Albon here once again. And well, unfortunately, we can't really make the move down. There we go. We have to actually running a pretty worn MGUH, which was not really ideal. So I totally forgot to change that out. So nice going, Riley. You did a really good job there. But we'll have to keep going at it again. But anyways, make a move on Albon, and now we have to chase after Nick DeFries, which if you're not hear about the Nick DeFries news, he's actually going to Harvard, or he's going to school, and he's taking a break from racing. So congrats to you, Nick. You're still racing though in my series, so congrats to you, buddy. But we don't really care for Nick's race right now. We care more for our race right now. So DeFries is stuck behind Sargent though, and then Sargent is really doesn't have really good pace, so he's gonna be maybe a bit under pressure for both of us here. But that's the end of lap 1, and Nick actually has a pretty good. He's in the slipstream of him. We're in the slipstream as well, and then we back down to that to get around him, and we might get around the inside, not around the outside of Nick DeFries. We're gonna get the move done here. Apologies for still sniffing up. I'm still suffering from my sickness, which I've been suffering for almost like a week now. So I apologize about that, but. Anyways, Logan Sargent now next up on the on our list of drivers to overtake, and he's sitting at P16, so we should be able to get around this guy pretty quickly. We are probably going to get around him, so I'm going to dummy him a little bit. He's going to actually have the inside. We're going to have the outside. He's got some pretty good straight line speed, though, to be honest with you, and we're going to go around the outside of Logan Sargent, give him enough space, and we're going to get around him. P16 now is our position we run in. Now next up, Alex. Oh, George Russell has just, well, he just almost just ran to the back of him. I believe he's retiring from the race, so he's got an engine issue. Or he might have no, he's coming to the pits. So George Russell into the pits now, which is quite unfortunate for Georgie boy. And now Oscar Piastri is now next up. We're going to dummy him a little bit. We're going to go down the inside of Oscar Piastri into the marbles, and around Piastri we go. And next up we got, oh, bit of a snap there in the exit. And that's right for the marbles. And we're still stopping. Oh, Oscar gave us a big squeeze there. We actually made contact onto his side pod. So I don't really understand that squeeze from Oscar, but you know what? Fair play, so we'll have to go back at him again. And then we got a couple guys up there as well. We got Stroll, both Alpines, and a couple other guys as well. So it's going to be a bit tricky to get around these guys, and a nice slow-mo shot there of our nice, beautiful Alfa Romeo. And go around him here once again. So I believe that's 2 Alpines, and I believe that might be one of the Haas's up there as well. And I believe the Haas is either Hulkenberg or Magnussen. I don't really know who it is. We'll find out. But now on the inside of Oscar again. See if we get this move done, though. Hopefully we don't floor it on the exit. No, we don't. We get a good rotation, good exit, and we are safe. So thank you. I take that. We take those. But now we have to chase after Ocon, Gasly, and Stroll. The Alpines have really not had. Alpines have really fallen off like a rock in this series. I don't think they've really scored points until, like, I think the last time they scored points was, I'm gonna probably say maybe Monaco, but they really have not shown really good pace, so they're kind of falling off. They're kind of just being mid, and Alpine have been mid, to be honest with you. They've really just been mid this entire like Renault/Alpine have been mid since 2016, and they're really not getting any better with this. So Alpine are in a bit of a shambles right now. Probably one of the worst managing teams right now in Formula 1, next to well, that, and they're probably up there with Ferrari being an absolute joke of a F1 team. So quite unfortunate for them, but to be fair, we could care less for them because our Alfa Romeo is superior to both these guys. But Stroll and Gasly, though, are having a little bit of a squabble there. They're still side by side. Thinking about moving Ocon, though. We're gonna let Ocon go on that one. There's really no point really no point of getting around Ocon, so we're just gonna back out of this. We might have a shot though to get him on this main straight, but I don't think we will though, and I don't really want to dump much of my overtake, to be honest, because I don't know. I just really don't think we can. So we're gonna just see what we can do here. We're actually gonna possibly make a move though. We're still side by side with Ocon. We're gonna get that done there. Still side by side. We actually get around Ocon there. Bit of fast forward there a little bit. Meant to show that in real speed, but that was unfortunately my editing error because I suck at editing. But had a little bit of a snap there in the exit. We're gonna get around Ocon there once again. Now next up here, Gasly and Lance Stroll. Next up the road, and we should get around these guys pretty quickly. I don't expect Gasly to. I don't really expect to be held up by both these guys, to be honest, because they're pretty slow, but they're not too slow, you know what I mean? So get back now. Piastri though has caught up to Ocon, so props to you, Oscar, for making a late charge. But Gasly down on Stroll. Stroll's gonna defend that. Now they're still side by side, and we're gonna just let them battle it out because we don't want to make contact with them because, well, we don't want to break the front wing. And I would not like that compared to what happened in Monaco. So we're gonna have to go around the down the inside. We could get 2 and 1 here. Do we get 2 and 1? Yes, I think we're gonna do. We're gonna go down the inside, and they almost made contact. And Stroll's gonna fight this around the outside still. So Stroll's still fighting this. He's gonna probably send one a little bit down the inside. We're gonna give him enough space, and we're gonna try to get a good exit here from Stroll. And Stroll didn't get a good exit, and he's gonna back out of that. And we're gonna sit comfortably in P11, and almost a snap there once again. And now from these guys, they were squabbling so much, they've lost 4 seconds to Hulkenberg from Nico, and this is not what I want to see because I need to get up the grid as quickly as I can because I would like points. But to be fair, that Haas's tires, they do fall off pretty bad, so we should get around them pretty quickly. But on lap 12 now, and we're getting a little bit of time by Nico. Nico's really not in the DRS though of I think that's Lando Norris ahead of him, so we are getting a little bit slowly and surely. Nico's really dropped off. His pace has really not been ideal, so we should have a good shot to get around him. I don't really expect to be stuck behind him for too long. I really don't want to be stuck behind him too long though either because I would like to get around him as quickly as I can. But we closed that gap down 2.4 seconds now. He's on the soft tires as well, so we're not getting too much time on him because at this point we're really just kind of just managing the pace a little bit because the tires are really just not, they're just kind of dead, and if I push a little bit more I feel like I was going to crash, so I was just like, you know what, I'm just going to kind of coast it to the end right here and then get to the pit stop, and then when we get off it we're going to push like hell. But you see the ERS, so we really haven't been dumping a lot of ERS over like the last couple of races, or the past couple of races, because we're having so much ERS left over. So I believe like Imola around here we really have not dumped so much ERS, and it's because those ERS upgrades came in time, so we have so much ERS that is stored. But Gasly actually got around Stroll, I believe, or no, Stroll actually I think came into the pits, so that was my mistake. But into the pits now, and let's have a good stop. Oh my god, I tell y'all again, that was the part I was scared about. I almost just crashed to the inside wall. But Hulkenberg's in, Leclerc's in, a couple other guys coming in as well into the box, and Russell came in as well, so a bit of mixed strategies here. But again, into the pit lane now, a bit held up, and that's just probably my mistake, trying to get back in the throttle. But we do, and now we have to try to see if we can get, I believe that might be, we're going to be facing Ocon on this exit here. We're going to be racing Ocon. He's got so much overspeed, but does he get us? So he might get us here, I don't think so, but no, he's not. Fortunately he's going to miss out of that, and we're going to get ahead. Stroll actually did get us though, so the undercut really came in powerful for Stroll and Piastri, so props to those two guys. I think Piastri did pit for the hard tires, but now Gasly now is the guy we have to race in the exit. Gasly might get us here. We're going to probably do the Fernando Alonso effect, get as much slipstream as possible. But then, oh, excuse me, I really don't want to be in the marbles, but Gasly is going to get ahead of us. So, man, this has really turned from a pretty eventful to pretty worse. Oh my god, just almost lost the car there again. Thankfully, we managed to save it, but now we have to chase after Pierre Gasly once again. Gasly's threatening Oscar Piastri, and they're side by side down to turn number 1. Meanwhile, Ocon is in the DRS, but he's not really gaining much time because we got DRS, so we got a little bit more straight line speed because of the engine, but we don't really have some good drag, so we're really not that quick in the straight line, but the engine really helps us in the straight line. So down the inside of Oscar Piastri, a little bit got stuck at the curb, a little bit beached there, but we sent one on Oscar Piastri, and we're going to make that move down up to P14. Now Ocon's threatening Piastri, he might get him here a little bit. There might be side by side still, and I think he does get him. So props to Alcott for getting that move done. And now next up is Pierre Gasly and Nico Hulkenberg. Hulkenberg actually pitted for the mediums. I believe Stroll actually got ahead of Hulkenberg, so Stroll's really gaining some time here, which is so stupid because Aston have a good car, but then it's tough to fight Lance Stroll because he just shoots up the grid because his car is good. And then you get the one weekend where he's just completely crap. So yeah, Stroll, fix you're the Alex Albon of Red Bull, to be honest. You're your 2020 Albon, to be honest with you. You qualify bad, you have to race up the grid, and that's what you're doing. So yeah, that's probably a bit mean. Sorry, I'm not a Lance Stroll fan, as you can tell. I think that the guy is overrated as hell. But anyways, after Pierre Gasly still, and Gasly's not, his pace isn't really too strong. We got much more stronger pace to Gasly compared to him. Gasly's really struggling a lot though on those hards. I don't know if he's just getting the right temperature in them or he's just really struggling. But we were actually pulling away from Ocon as well, and Piastri. But Piastri really doesn't have any good pace. So, excuse me. We should have a really good run though on Gasly here once again, and we're gonna get this run here now. DRS wide open. And we're going to chase after Pierre Gasly now. We're in the DRS. We're dumping overtake as much as we can. We've been dumping a lot of overtake to get with Gasly. Gasly's not going to defend that, though. And he's just going to let us go, so we really can't defend that. And now we chase after Hulkenberg and Lance Stroll next up on the grid. And then Stroll after Stroll is Norris, Magnussen, Bottas. So Valtteri is really not having the greatest of days, but he's not really... like, he's up there, but he's not really close to Magnussen, which is kind of weird because I'm faster than both the Haas boys, so I don't know if it's just like the rookie being strong or just Valtteri just being Valtteri. So I don't really know what's going on. But anyways, Hulkenberg next up. We might get 2-1 though. We got so much overspeed on Stroll. We're gonna get a Stroll here. Now on the inside, oh, Stroll actually touched us a little bit, and he got caught out because Hulkenberg would run the outside of him. And we move up into P10, which is the points position, the last points paying position. And I don't know if we can really catch up to Norris or Valtteri though, because Norris is getting DRS from Bottas, and he's getting DRS from him, and then he's kind of getting benefited from that because, speaking of Valtteri, sorry for Valtteri for kind of going off on him a little bit, but he's actually gained a little bit on, I believe that it might be Magnussen. Yes, that is Magnussen. Here comes Hulkenberg. Once again, he's got DRS, but he's not really going to get close, though. And then you got Stroll here once again. He's under threat from Gasly. So Gasly's now going to make a move on Stroll here for the position for P12, I believe. P12, I believe. Yes. And Gasly around the outside. And still fighting around the outside. These two guys had contact last year, I believe, in the Spanish Grand Prix last year, so they kept it clean. And now next up, just behind the grid, Russell back there. Pretty tough day for George Russell, to be honest with you. He really has not shown any. Well, he got caught out of that, so he's gonna be in that battle with the 4-car battle. So it'll be transforming to it was a 3-car battle, now a 4-car battle. But last up in the Grand Prix, we just couldn't get close to Leclerc, Norris, or Bottas. Magnussen kind of, I don't know where. I think Magnussen might have retired. I think he did retire. I can't honestly remember, to be honest with you. But Lewis Hamilton, though, he's had a hell of a race. He's really been in lead since lap 1. He's had control of this race, and he's going to come across checker flag to win this race unless he absolutely bottles it. But I don't really expect Lewis to do that. So our day was pretty strong, but it's not how strong as Lewis's was, because Lewis qualified P1, beat us by 2/1000 of a second on pole position, but he kind of benefited from us because we had to take a whole new engine. So yeah, but I don't know if we were going to beat him, but Lewis Hamilton's going to win the Spanish Grand Prix. Max Verstappen comes home in P2. I believe that's Max. That is Max Verstappen. Checo Perez comes home in P3 for Red Bull Racing. That is Sainz P4, P5 for, that is Fernando Alonso, P6, P7, P8 for Bottas. Norris, Leclerc. I got that right. And actually, yes, Magnussen did retire, so I totally forgot to talk about that. But we're going to finish P9, though. P9, good result. Not bad. P20 to P9, I'll take that.
Okay, pick up rubber and bring it home.
team effort then, which has paid off in spades. A great victory here at the Spanish Grand Prix. Natalie Pinkham, how do you think they were able to set themselves apart today?
Well, they are very much at one with the car, which is a cliche, but it's true. It's not an easy process, and that work is very much paying off.
And I can see the drivers starting to approach the podium for the victory celebrations. A real team victory today. Everybody played their part. Congratulations then to Mercedes, your race winners.
And there's your winner. Lewis Hamilton wins the Spanish Grand Prix ahead of Verstappen and also Sergio Perez. Lewis gets, I believe, I don't know what win this is this season. I think this is his second. I think this might be his second. I don't know. Mercedes have made some pretty good upgrades though to the car, and Ferrari have really been. I don't even think Ferrari have even won a race this season. Now I'm talking about this. I don't think Ferrari has won a race. Oh my god. I don't think they've won a race in the Road to Glory series, so tough break for Ferrari, but they really have not had really good pace, to be honest with you. I mean, they're like the third best car, and they really have not shown anything, so Lewis wins ahead of Verstappen from our side, P9. It was a pretty good race. Ultimately, I wish we didn't have to. I wish that thing saved so we didn't have to take a whole new engine, but unfortunately we did. So the MGUH though did make it. The MGUH though did make it, which I was really glad it did, because if that thing went out, then the car would have blown up. So we really have not had any reliability issues. We've only had like, I think we've had like what, one DNF? I think we've had one DNF of the season. That was a crash with Lance Stroll. What a coincidence! Lance Stroll at Saudi Arabia, I believe that's the only incident. But take a look at the standings here. P5 for us in the constructors. I don't know where we were in the drivers. I think it's like P8, P9, P8, somewhere around there. But ahead of both McLarens by 10 points, and slowly gaining on Aston, but slowly and surely. We're not getting too much on Aston. So yeah, but that's really it for this video, and that's really it for this race. So pretty good race. We move on to Canada, which is another street circuit, so we go back on the streets again. So yeah, it is a street circuit technically. So yes, it is a street circuit. It is a circuit, but it is a street circuit. Does that clarify it? I don't know. Just look it up. But that's it, today's video, y'all. Thank y'all for watching this video. If you want to see more content, please like and subscribe. I love you all. If you want to watch the rest of the Road to Glory series, you can as well. It is actually on the channel. It's in a playlist. So that's all I got for today's video, y'all. Have a good rest of your day, y'all. Stay safe out there. Enjoy the rest of your weekend. I'll see y'all in the next one.